हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा।
कृष्ण।
मैं
हरे
साउंड
कृष्ण
ऑडिबल?
प्रभु।
यस
यस
प्रभु।
प्रभु। यस प्रभु।
So, welcome all of you for joining for today's book reading session. So, we will now be starting. So, we had to change the time because of tomorrow we will be traveling. So, that's why. Okay. Let us have prayers, then we'll start our discussion. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we are reading from Nectar of Instruction. Yeah. So we are reading from Nectar of Instruction. Anyone remembers what we covered in the last to last Sunday session? So 15 days are over. So any remembrance?
Verse 1 of Nectar of Instruction.
Yes.
Verse 1 of Nectar of Instruction was read in the class, and second and third was the homework.
Oh, nice. Correct. Verse 1 was read. And one paragraph also we covered. So basically, before that also something else also was
Preface
covered. Not only
and all
this one.
introduction, preface of the book and all.
Yeah, exactly. Preface of the book was also covered. So in that way, this is how we completed the session. So then we started with the Nectar of Instruction first verse, Vacho Vegam-Should. Okay, let us recite also that verse. Then we'll start our discussion. I'll just share the screen. This is one of the very wonderful book, Nectar of Instruction. It's really a nectar which comes directly from Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, and then by Srila Prabhupada is elaborating even more. Okay, let us recite this verse. Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam
Vajo Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam
Jiva Vegam Udara Upastha Vegam
Jivha Vegam Udropastha Vegam
Etan Vegan Yo Vishahet Dhiraha
Etan veganyo
Veganyo Vishaheta Dhiraha
Sarvam Apimam Pratavim Sashishyat.
sarvam
Sarvam Abhinam Prithvi Shishya.
Yes, someone can read the translation.
A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world.
Yeah, so here is the key to become a guru. To make disciples all over the world. Who can make that? One who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals. That person is actually qualified to make disciples all over the world. So this is how, and if you see in the preface, it has not come here. In the preface, Srila Prabhupada says that actually this book is for neophytes. Prabhupada says that these are what instructions are given. Neophytes means basically especially this particular verse and how it goes ahead. It is for the beginners of Krishna consciousness. And because anyone knows why Prabhupada is saying like that, why it is for the beginners, whereas we see that this is one of the very high level instruction. But Prabhupada says it is just for neophytes. So can
because
anyone?
Unless
Yeah.
one controls his mind, one cannot advance in spiritual life. One first thing is to become a Goswami, then become a pure devotee.
Oh,
Because
exactly. You got it. I thought I will have to get through many other answers, then I will get, but this exact answer you got. So yes, without controlling the mind and senses, actually we cannot, the spiritual life cannot begin only without controlling the mind and senses. So it is said that uh, means if you have to practice spiritual life means one has to control all the senses and the mind. Otherwise, without controlling it cannot, one cannot practice spiritual life. It is like sense gratification and Krishna consciousness. They go ill together. So you can't do both the things together. Either you one gets into materialistic life or spiritual life. There is no like midway in something. You can't say then I will have material life also, I will have spiritual and both I will try to go. So that cannot happen. So either you leave the material things, then you are into spirituality, or you if you want to be go to the materialistic life and go to the if somebody wants to go to the hellish planets, then the no need to come to spiritual life. Then your goal is already fixed goal of life. So that's how it is very, very important. Okay, so now we see that in this verse, this thing was mentioned, and then the translation tells about tolerating the six urges, you know, mind, sorry, the vacho, urge to speak, mind, anger, tongue, belly, genitals. Okay, sixth thing. And then purport, it should have started with how to control the senses. But then you see in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he is telling about Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami conversation. So in our last reading, we also discussed certain things about this, that how Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami, they actually conversing about how people are going to the hellish planet and how they should be saved. Parikshit Maharaj asked the question, and then Shukdev Goswami initially wanted to just test Parikshit Maharaj, and later on he gives the answer of proper answer he gives. So all of you, I hope all of you have read this three paragraphs where Shukdev Goswami is telling about real atonement. It's not just like elephant bath, but actually coming to the real knowledge. Then only one can, from the roots, one can actually refrain from all the illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, so many things are there. So now, can anyone tell why Srila Prabhupada is telling three paragraphs? He is actually devoting for Parikshit Shukdev Goswami conversation. Why not directly tell about, and then fourth paragraph is starting about Vacho Vegam. Yeah. So why not directly Prabhupada is telling about Vacho Vegam? Yeah, anyone can tell. Why not directly Vacho Vegam? Why other things?
because you want to establish this truth, like that all other things are waste of time. If even if you do bhakti without controlling your senses, then it's a waste of time. Like it's like you are taking bath and again you will get into the mud like an elephant would do.
Okay,
So
but directly Prabhupada can tell about Vacho Vegam. No, why he is telling the other things, the conversation and those things. You tell
Like
directly the control
to
this,
tell the
control that.
importance of this, to tell the importance.
Okay, tell the importance. Any other devotee?
Like there is no other way than Krishna consciousness to control senses and mind. So first we are establishing the Krishna consciousness is the only way. Then we are teaching how to control the senses.
Yeah, correct. Any other devotee?
Because nowadays people think that if we do good karma, then bad karma will get away. But he is establishing that bad karma never get away until you control your senses, and without the mercy of Krishna, it can never gonna vanquish.
Hmm. Correct, correct. Yes, well, nice. This is also good thing. Yeah, correct. We have to establish Krishna consciousness. That thing is
So
also there.
atonements are compared to elephants bathing in this one. So he's saying
Hmm.
that nothing will work except Krishna consciousness. It is the only way to
Hmm.
get rid of karmas cycle properly.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else want to tell why Prabhupada did not tell about controlling the senses? Why he's telling about the Parikshit that thing, and then he's telling about controlling the senses. Yes, Ayush.
Prabhuji, one reason can be if we are not controlling the senses, we have to face some consequences. So if we are aware of that consequences, we will be following them instructions.
Yeah, exactly. So all of you told correctly, and this was the exact answer because many times people say that. Many times people say that, like if you directly tell about controlling the senses, people say, "Oh, are you mad? You are telling about controlling Vacho Vegam. Why to control the speech?" They say, "Oh, I want to be ambitious. I want to speak as much as possible. I can do so much wonderful." So for them, speaking is actually a wonderful thing. They want to speak more and more. And all the other Vegas also, they think it is a delightful thing to engage the senses into sense object. For that purpose only, they are leading their entire life. So if we tell that controlling the six senses, six urges, people will say, why you are talking about all this? It's useless, they will say. So we say that what they are doing that is useless, and they say this is useless because they think that this sense gratification is only the goal of life. So for them, if you tell controlling the things, then they feel it is to be something very why to do that? Life is meant for enjoyment. That's what people say. So that's why we tell about first consequences before telling about the controlling. That what consequences one is going to undergo. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj, that thing comes that so many people are actually going to hellish planet, and because of what? Because of all the breaking all the having all the anarthas, breaking four regulative principles, meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling. So they are breaking these four regs, and then the hellish plan, the door is open for the hellish planets, and they are entering the hellish planet very fast, getting into this and just entering into the hell. So actually, to save them, Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question. So then, what is the process? Is one has to control the mind and senses. So that's how Prabhupada is connecting that these are the consequences. If you don't control your mind and senses, you will actually face these consequences. And that's why one should start. The spiritual life starts with controlling our mind and senses. So once we control that, then only actually without Krishna consciousness, as you told, some of you told, it is not possible because if Krishna consciousness is not there, then one get engaged into if he has to control the suppose Vacho Vegam, he has to control the speech, then he will utilize it for something else. And something else means without Krishna consciousness, that will be something nonsense only. So in that way, that control is not at all control. So that's why it is said that these six urges, it can be controlled only by devotee, not by any other personality. So only devotees can only control the six urges. Others may try to control by artificial means and all, but still it will not be complete. It will not be complete control. They will again get troubled by their mind and senses, and they actually cannot be succeeded. And so that's how we see that it is very important to control the mind and senses. And that's why Prabhupada is first telling the consequences, and then he's going to the uh, Vacho Vegam part. So for Vacho Vegam, this is the only paragraph given. So we'll read this. So even though we have this book reading, but this nectar of instruction is loaded with so many things, and also the every instruction, even though it is Prabhupada says we have to control these things because even though it is for beginners, but even we are also beginners only in that way because we are not yet controlled our senses. So only one paragraph is given, but we will do good discussion on this. Anyone has any questions, they can ask also in between. And then we'll go to Vacho. So every Vega is having one verse. Okay. So we'll start with the one must control the speaking power. Okay. Who will speak about the controlling the speaking power? One of you. Yes, Sarnap Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sort of nonsense. A toad in a field speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone has a tongue, wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however simply invites the snake. Please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling
Yes,
speech.
yes, thank you. So here you see in this entire paragraph, Prabhupada is emphasizing on everyone has power, everyone has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. And if we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we'll speak all sorts of nonsense. And what example is given here?
Toad. Example of toad is given here.
Yeah, toad. Like, what is toad?
Frog kind of mendak.
Yeah,
Mendak, frog.
Big frogs.
frogs. Yeah, like frog is there. You see, sometimes in the when the rainy season comes, big sound comes in the frogs. They are actually they go inside the ground in the summertime. And as soon as the rain comes, they all come out from the earth and they start making big sound. Sometimes so much sound it comes. Even like even though they are very far away, still such a big sound will come. So this is says that actually what they do, there's such a big sound that even the snakes are also attracted. The snakes get attracted. They understand, oh, frogs have come now. Till now they were hiding under the earth. Now they have come up. So my prasadam or whatever their food is ready, and they go and immediately. So it is how the frog, by continuously speaking or loudly shouting, is actually inviting death. So that is the thing given for the this toad or the frog, and how it is for the how it is applicable for the human beings. Prabhupada is saying that talking of materialistic men or impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers, that is also compared to croaking of the frogs. So how it is they are speaking nonsense, that is okay, but how it is inviting death? They are inviting death to catch
Death
them.
of soul, actually. The death of spiritual life.
Okay, death of spiritual life. Anything else?
They're just wasting the life
Yeah.
because they're not fulfilling the purpose of life, so they're kind of wasting it. That is kind of inviting the death.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, basically what happens when we keep speaking, there is no like, they don't have anything good to speak, and you keep speaking all the rubbish, nonsense things. Then it is like you keep speaking, and then finally death comes. So, what to speak of spiritual death, even the material death will also happen. And what you have accomplished in the entire life, nothing. Just one was just speaking. And that speaking actually never helped him anything. It just was a useless waste of time. So we see that in this world, people spend so much time in speaking. Sometimes in the train and all, we can observe also. So many people come together and they have big groups. Sometimes they will talk about, okay, so some if they are talking about family or some situation, that is still okay. But they will talk about something, they'll read the newspaper, some headlines, and they'll keep talking about it for hours together. And if we ask what is the use of it, they don't know anything. They just say that, okay, we just failed to talk, so we are talking about it because they don't have any higher subject matter to discuss upon. So then they discuss about, okay, what happened to this? Huh? The elections happened. What happened to this? The newspaper, oh, this the murder happened here. This thing happened there. So they are not able to derive any lesson also. They just discuss. Sometimes we may also discuss about these things, but we connect it to the spiritual life. But most of the other people, they are not able to connect or they don't know only what is the purpose of this. Yeah, so they keep speaking, and then we see that, and the death comes suddenly. Now, and the death of Lord of Death comes, and he says, "Okay, let us now come. Your death time has come." And then they are very frightened. Oh, what to do? How can I get out of this clutches of death? And then the death says, "No, now there is no time. Already you have spent so much time uselessly. Now the death, nobody can stop you." So this is how we see that it is very important to actually having the right speech. What we speak, it is very important. It is said that just by speaking, we emit so much energy by speaking for. If somebody is speaking for hours together, he actually gives lot of his energy in that. And if that energy is not utilized in Krishna consciousness, but for some useless thing, then it's just a waste of time. Okay, next. So then Prabhupada says, okay, first he said about, okay, don't speak nonsense. That means should we just remain silent? So Prabhupada is telling ahead of that. Yeah. Satyam Prabhu can read the next.
Hare Krishna, please. Yes, sir. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self-imposed silence, the external process of Maun. As Mayavadi philosophers think, silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech, conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami, advocates the positive process of Krishna Karma, engaging in the speaking process in glorifying Supreme Lord Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The creatures of Krishna Katha is always beyond the pleasures of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak.
Yeah. So controlling does not mean that silence, just remain silence. Like the Buddhist monk and all, they have particular course is there, silence course. So they don't, they get a homework or something that these many, sometimes they months together, they don't speak anything. Months together. It's like Mohan Vrat, this, they months together, they want to preserve that energy and utilize it very nicely. That I don't know for what they utilize, but they just preserve that energy for a long time. So that's how we see that. So actually, the just by controlling or just having silence, that is not enough. He says, if at all, better than silent is to speak about to glorify the Lord. Better than to just be silent, one should speak about Krishna. One should glorify the Lord. So that is actually main thing. Glorify the Lord, His devotees. So when we do that, then we get so much benefit. Otherwise, just be silent, then also it is useless. Your energy is not utilized only. One person is utilizing his energy uselessly, and another person is not utilizing at all. So it's like that balakapati Visanu. One has bal, the strength is there. Balakapati means he has strength, but he will not utilize, he will not do any service to the Lord. He will not dance in the kirtan, or he will not do anything for the Lord. So that it's even though strength is there, but it is not used, it is not utilized properly. So similarly, the speech, when it is said that every of our sense, when it is used in service of the Lord, then it is a perfection of that. Like perfection of eyesight is to see the beautiful darshan of the Lord. Perfection of tongue or the speech, that is to speak the glories of the Lord. Perfection of ears is to hear the glories of the Lord. Perfection of nose is to smell the fragrant flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is how we can engage all our senses in the service of the Lord and can perfect, all the senses will be perfected. And that's how the material senses will gradually be purified, and then it becomes spiritualized senses. Then we don't even think about the sense gratification. The senses will only run towards Krishna consciousness or Krishna conscious activities. So in that way, we can actually control these senses. So also recently we were doing some book distribution in the schools. So generally the people like in the schools also they teach some mathematics, some different subjects they will teach and tell the student this is like this. And the teacher is also not so much interested in that subject. He speaks all the things about it, but then there is no interest. Somehow he will write it in the board. Students, of course, students nicely they will be attentive just to get good marks and to get the knowledge. But otherwise, some of the students they will just read themselves or they will apply for some coaching and they will apply read like that. But many of them are not, they are not so much interested in even teaching that particular field, because same things you have to speak, there is no much interest which comes by teaching and all. But when you speak the same thing about Krishna Katha, every time you speak, you feel newer and newer blissful experience when you speak about Krishna. So when I was I was making an announcement and telling about these values, how it is important in our life. So I was telling about some wonderful story of three travelers when they go in the, what we say, they were actually traveling very far, and suddenly when in the midnight when they came across a forest, that time they heard a sound from the sky that there are many stones lying, so pick up as many as possible, and then these stones they are going to be very helpful in the future. So the one traveler, he was having full faith, He picked full bag was packed up and he went. Second traveler, he filled only half of his bag. And the third traveler, he did not fill anything. He thought that why to carry so much burden? Already we are tired walking so much long distance. Better not to carry, why to carry stones? Stones we can get anywhere. And then after the next day when they reached another city, they found that in the first traveler, he found the bag was filled with gold, rubies, all the valuable jewels. And then the other two travelers, second traveler was happy and sad. First traveler was very happy. Second was happy and sad also because he did not fill the entire bag. And the third traveler was very, very sad. So then because he did not feel anything. So we tell this story nicely. And then I told them about how values are so important. So values, one should not feel these values to be a burden in our life. If one feels like a burden, then tomorrow he will lament like this traveler. So, and the wonderful values we are given in the Gita. Then I told about Lord Ram, Ravan, how Ravan was a person of loose character. Lord Ram was a person of high character. And then how Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. For Arjuna, battle, like fighting the battle was like, in our case, it is like a student who is told, if like Arjuna said that I will not fight the battle. So for the student, it is like I will not study or I will not go to the school or I will not do studies properly. So in that way, I compared it and then we told how it is the Gita knowledge helps us to be focused in whatever activity we are doing. And the teachers actually they were telling that, oh, wonderful. We have heard so many things we hear, but this things was very observing, he said. You told about Krishna, Arjun, and the wonderful values we get from this Gita, the Lord Ram, and they said we have never heard. It is very refreshing, they were telling. So we see that because they never hear about these literatures. They hear about different things, newspaper, this is going on, all the negativities basically. In the newspaper, all negative things are given. This thing happened here, either negative things or it's the competition things are there or comparison. Something could happen to someone and then we are trying to, so like that, it is always in negativity, it takes us to that thing. But when you glorify the Lord, everybody is satisfied. Nobody has competitive mentality. Nobody feels comparison or envious. And everyone is very happy. And they like to hear. They were wanted to hear more and more lessons. One of the school even told that you take a class for the students regularly for the Gita because just by giving Gita, they may not understand. So regular classes should be there. Only thing our the capacity is not so much that every school we can give some classes. But if that can happen, eventually, if many devotees come up, every school actually we should have one Gita teacher. The like they have mathematics teacher, every language also they have teacher, Hindi teacher, English teacher, different language teacher will be there. So like that Gita teacher also should be there. So then it becomes very easy for them to get the knowledge. One of the school I went, so morning they do assembly when all the students gather and they, so initially they will Janagana Mana, Vande Mataram, they will sing like that. And at the end, one boy was asking questions. Every day they asked different questions to the students. So they were asking questions also very, one student, he asked that who is the cricketer who did this, something they were asking. And then the people said Dhoni, he is actually Dhoni. And many answered that question. And they clapped the hands. So wonderful answer. And they again they will ask some other question. And so all things about the materialistic thing. So I was thinking if they can just ask every day, they can recite one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. They so many can benefit actually. And to my surprise, many of the school children actually they don't even know what is Bhagavad Gita. When I told who did you hear the name of Gita, they said no. Then I asked who has spoken. First I asked who has spoken Bhagavad Gita, and many of them did not. Some of them said Valmiki. I said Valmiki has written Ramayana. Some said Vasudeva. Some different names. Lord Krishna only. I think amongst maybe 50 students are the one student may tell in some class even nobody told, and some classes many told, that was only some, but most of the majority students actually didn't even knew that Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord Krishna, and to whom again they were not knowing. Then I said it's Arjuna. So that's how we are to, somebody said Vishnu, different names they were taking. So, and what to speak of Gita, Bhagavad Gita, their name only they didn't hear. I used to tell in every class that See, we have Bible, we have Quran and Bhagavad Gita because people are from other places also. So we tell these three things. People know Bible, they know Quran. Bhagavad Gita is not so much known still, especially in the South Indian states. The Gita is not known much. So then we have to tell these things to the boys. This knowledge is so much important. Of course, teachers were knowing, but the school children, they were not aware. Sixth standard, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th also, some of them knew, some of them didn't know. So instead of asking the cricketer and the politics and other things, they can actually ask such kind of question, which will benefit the students also, teachers also, and almost everyone. And that will be like eternal credit it will go. But the education currently is given only to actually make the people more and more to money oriented basically, just to earn the money. For that they give the knowledge, general knowledge. Yeah, so that thing is very much given. Yeah, religion should not be discussed. Many schools, some of the schools we didn't get permission. They says, oh, we are secular. We don't want any different religions. We don't want to promote. And we told that secularism means you invite all the religions, not that you don't invite any religion. That is not secularism. Secularism means you give opportunity for every religion to present their own. Basically, the every student, every person, he should follow some religion. You follow Muslim, you become Christian. That is not a problem. But whatever religion you are following, that you should there. Yeah, he's telling I am in new job in our school. They are not allowing to speak about religion also. Yeah, so this is how we see that even though this speech is only most useful, but they don't allow. Another school also they were telling all the news highlights, what happened in the state, what is current happening. They will announce like that in the assembly to all the students just so that their general knowledge is good. But they are not knowing the basic of Bhagavad Gita only. That's why it is very important for us to actually give this knowledge to all the people. It's very, very important. Okay, so another thing is people gives many excuses also. I will share one more thing. Once Rajesh Ampru went to one company. The seminar was fixed. It was, I think, one company was Bosch company or something. So they told him, so the seminar was fixed, everything was fixed. Roja was supposed to go. They gave the conditions. They said, "No, you should not speak anything about Krishna. Krishna word should not come. You should not speak anything about Gita or any shlokas or anything. Like that, so many conditions they gave. Then Rajashampra, after seeing that, he said, "Yeah, then why should I give the seminar only? They are giving no, 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 everything no. So then Professor better cancel the program. Our purpose is to actually speak about Krishna. That is only stopped, then what is the use of speaking? So then, but because the program was already finalized, so then Proji said, okay, we will. He actually took the things from Gita only, but he did not mention, like Proji told about how one should be in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Instead of telling about Tamaguna, Rajaguna, and Sattva Proji told about this. And that's how he explained that scenario, how to react in different situations. And finally, Proji concluded how we have to, these modes also bind us. We have to actually, what we say, transcend these gunas by practicing spiritual life. That at the end, he just told like that. What was the name of that seminar? Seminar name was Art of Smart Work. Art of Smart Work. And in that project told about three gunas, and that's how he went ahead. So we see that this is how the culture is going on everywhere. Yeah. And many times people say that when you tell about speak about Krishna or hear about Krishna consciousness, people say, "Oh, I don't have time. Where is the time? You know, so much fast life is there, one after another, this, that." People give so many excuses. I have this, I have to do that. So it is said if one keeps giving so many excuses, then one cannot do anything in life because everything has an excuse. You tell this, you say no, no, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. It's like giving so many excuses. So I was hearing from Shri Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. He has given one lecture also. No excuses something. So in that he was telling. Actually, it is not about having time. People say, if I have time, I will read Gita, or if I have time, I will, because these literatures are very important. people want to read, and they read newspaper every day. It comes newspaper, but as it's the validity is only one day. Next day it goes to the dustbin, or they will use it to eat something, and that's it. It goes like that. But Gita, it is coming from 5,000 years. Still, we have that book, and we are giving to people. But and they will spend to that 200, 300 rupees as a Gita cost for any. Sometimes they go for somewhere parking or some eating something. They'll spend. Or sometimes movies they go 300 rupees ticket, 3 hours. That's it. And here is the something which is going to help you lifelong. For that they say that, oh, there is no time. Where is the time to read Bhagavad Gita? I can go for watching movies, but where is the time for reading Gita? So as I was telling, actually, this is not about having time, but it is about making time. So the having time means if I have time, I will do this. If I have time, I will do that. There is no time which time is not going to come to you. Oh, I have come. Now please engage me in reading Gita. If time, so we have to make time to do any activity. Like if somebody is hungry, like somebody may say, I'm so busy that I could not take any prasad, like I could not take food only the entire day. That is not, nobody will do that. They will make somehow, if they are hungry, then somehow they will make time to actually eat. Even if nothing is available, they themselves will cook or do anything, but they will eat. So time is there. Only thing we have to understand the importance and how to the importance of that activity. Then we can actually make time and go through that. People generally worry about only the future. That actually, one great saint said that people worry so much about the future that they think so much, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, that then they are never in the present. They are never in the present and nor in the future also. In that way, they spend so much of their energy. It is said that they sometimes they even compromise on their health to have to get lot of wealth, and when they get the wealth, they utilize that wealth to recover their health. So it's like same thing. And then also it was said that yeah, they live as they never as they will never die. They live as they will never die, and they die as if they never lived. So that's how people's life are. They start and then keep speaking, get into different activities, and finally just death comes and takes them away. That's how the life ends. So one has to see that one should be in the present. Sometimes you want to tell something about some Krishna conscious philosophy to someone. They say, "Oh, where is time? I have to go. I have to do this, that, that," and people just run away from the place. As soon as philosophy comes, people just want to run away from the place. So it's about making time actually. Going to the temple, chanting the holy names. We chant 16 rounds. One may say, oh, where is the initially we also felt before we started 16 rounds, it was feeling, oh, 16 round, 2 hours. Already we are tight in our schedules and studies and college and exams and jobs. How to find 2 hours? But then we say that once you get the knowledge and understand the real goal of life, and slowly, slowly, all these things becomes very easy. Then you say, oh, 2 hours means this is my first priority. As soon as I get up, chanting is my first thing. And then I can get into all other things, and those things are later part. But I have to, first of all, I have to become a, chanting is the main thing. Chanting, reading of Prabhupada books, this is the main thing. So one has to find out time. That is very important. So regarding this, there is a pastime of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj also. Today is Maharaj's appearance day, according to Tithi. I'll just share one pastime, which I heard from another devotee. So this about this only, how we generally don't remain in the present. We always worry about the past or future. Lament about the past, what things we did, and worry about the future. Oh, this thing, I have to do this, I have to do that, and then we are not able to be present in the present situation. We are not there, our mind is somewhere else only. So once what happened, Maharaj had taken a yatra, a small yatra. Those years the group was very small. Now to 10,000 people came this time, but in those years, many years back, the group was quite small, maybe maybe close to 1,000 or maybe below that. So then they went to, so they used to go to different place, and Maharaj also used to go along with the devotees to visit some place, and there they used to have a class, wonderful class. So, and Maharaj class, generally it goes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it can go. Initially used to sometimes speak uh, the class, there was no ending time only. It may start in the breakfast time and the class may end during lunch time, like 5-6 hours the class used to go. So long it used to go. And many used to be amazed. Of course, everyone used to relish. Nowadays, because number has increased so much, 6 hours class goes, people will start getting up, this and that. Many things come. But the smaller group, Maharaj used to give a lot of association, and Maharaj also never used to worry about time. Oh, it's time now. Let us finish. Because once you get into speaking about Krishna, then there is no this only. One was speaking, and Maharaj was relishing that, so he kept speaking like that. So one of the yatras, what happened is, I think, yeah. So they went to one place, Remuna. Remuna is the place. So there Maharaj went and Maharaj started speaking about the class. So actually that class was supposed to end by, I think, 6 o'clock or so. But Maharaj was keep going. 5 o'clock it started. It was going, and around 7 o'clock, 6:30 or so, and Maharaj completed that one thing. And then the management, there was management. So a few managers were there who were arranging for the buses, because they had come to this place and they had to travel to another accommodation place after this. They had arranged many buses and everything. So then, and all the drivers were told that we are going to leave by maximum 6:30. So 6:30, Maharaj just, and then Maharaj says, so now I will begin the class, he said, 6:30. And then all devotees were very happy. Hari Bol, everybody said. And the manager said, oh, now Maharaj is going to begin. Then when they thought, okay, maybe half an hour more or something it may go. It went to 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Like that, the class went. And the managers became very alarmed because all the drivers were coming to them. They said, hey, where is our time? Ho gaya? Chalo, chalo. So like that, they were forcing. But the managers there, they cannot tell also Maharaj. And this thing happened, and then somehow by great endeavors, 8:30 almost class ended, and then Maharaj said that, so now he actually told the glories of Madhavendra Puri, how Madhavendra Puri was sent by the Sri Gopal, and then he comes here to find the Chandan, and then he ate that, what we say, what is that sweet rice it was?
Amrita
Yeah.
Keli.
Amrit Keli. Yeah. So the Amrit Keli was there. It's kind of very nicely it was made. It's rabdi only, no? Rabdi only, I think.
It is actually ground rice.
Brown rice, huh?
I
Sure.
mean, Prabhupada says that it is rice only, but they say that we never use rice in this. It's
They
milk.
use some
Rabdi
milk.
only it is.
Rabdi only they make, correct. Because we also tested it. So then that was that Amrit Keli, it was there. It was very feeling like nectar. So after telling the entire pastime, said, so then the managers thought, okay, now it is done. Now the class is done. And now we have to actually board the buses. They were about to announce, and then Maharaj says, close your eyes and feel that you are actually in that place. And the Amrit Keli was actually brought for everyone, each devotee. The Amrit Keli, which is very famous. And then it was he told managers, okay, you distribute to everyone, and all of us actually in the same place we should eat it. And then managers say, oh, Maharaj, we will just pack it in buses. We will give one, everyone. And then Maharaj says, no, this is the place where the pastime happened. We should actually relish that, and that should be our consciousness. We should take here. And then everybody, and Maharaj was speaking, like recent yatra also he was speaking, no, during that Prabhupada disappearance day. Spoke almost for half an hour, made the mood just before the our what we say, this telling about Jai Anilu Premadana, singing that song. Half an hour Maharaj was speaking about Srila Prabhupada slowly. So like that, making the mood slowly, he told about how this Amrit Keli, it is so very special, offered to the Lord, and Madhavendra Puri actually tested it, and so all devotees wanted to test. And Maharaj said, you will get love of God after eating this. Like that, many things Maharaj told. And finally, they ate it. And then after that, everything ended. And then managers almost were thinking, oh, what we do? Like already they were very much thinking about it. And the buses, drivers, and everyone was very frustrated by that time. So then finally, the things ended. Yatra also ended later on. And then, yeah. Yeah, so then managers went to, then they had a discussion with Maharaj. Maharaj, some of the devotees said that Maharaj, actually the classes went, no, so that thing. Maharaj said, actually your problem is you are not in the present. You are always worrying about future. You are always thinking about this. You are not in the present. That is your problem, he said. And the devotees were little taken aback. And then later, when they got the feedbacks of all the devotees, that what was the most relishing thing for you in the entire yatra. So many things happened. Before that, also few days, almost it was 8-10 days yatra. But all the devotees said that the thing which happened, no, in that 4 hours of class, plus that eating of that Amrit Keli, the entire thing which Maharaj told and made our consciousness, is that was the most unforgettable experience. It was the most relishable experience of our life. And even the yatra, that was the most amazing experiences. And then when the managers read that, they thought, oh, we are thinking about buses and this and that. The main purpose is to give good experience to devotees. And that was given. That they actually felt that to be the most best of the thing in the entire yatra. That's how we see that sometimes we just only think about what will happen in the future. I have to do this, I have to do that, running here and there. But great souls, you see that even Prabhupada, if he has to speak to someone, no, he is speaking to someone, preaching to someone, he's fully with that person. He will not worry about, oh, time ho gaya, no, I have to just rush or something. So then the person says, oh, that means he is more worried about time. He's not worried about my thing. But I am trying to tell him, I am some problem that is gone. So Maharaj is having this very wonderful quality. If he is with someone, then he is fully with him. Or like he is giving any class, he is fully with the devotees. You can see his absorption fully in the that pastime. It is as if he is there in the pastime and he is telling, okay, this is happening, that is happening. So like that. He will never think that, okay, what has, what will go ahead and what will. So he just goes on in that flow. So that is very wonderful quality of Maharaj, that always focusing on the uh, present, always being in the present. That is very, very important. Okay, so that's how we see that. So we also have to apply the same thing in our life whenever we are doing any activity, even book reading and all. Sometimes we open the book and sit. Suddenly the thoughts come. Oh, I have to do this. Actually, mind gives all those excuses. I have to do this. I have to. Reading anyway, you can do anytime. So immediately that excuse comes, and then we get into other things, and finally we sleep, and then we see that whole day nothing happened. No spiritual activity happened because my mind cheated me. Mind took me to all the places except books, reading Prabhupada books or hearing. Somehow, because chanting is fixed, somehow we complete it. Okay, 16 rounds has to be completed, or these many rounds completed, then we do it. But for all other things, mind gives excuses. No, no, anyway, you can do later. Anyway, this can be done later. And the later never comes. So that's how we see that the mind has cheated. And sometimes we don't even recognize the days pass, months pass, years pass, and then we see that we are not gathered that much knowledge, or we are not even completed Prabhupada books properly. Actually, ideally, as we grow, in the first 2 years of Krishna consciousness, one should finish all the small books. Then one should start Bhagavad Gita and come to Srimad Bhagavatam as soon as possible. And once he starts Srimad Bhagavatam, then that may go for a few years with proper study of that, applying proper courses on everything. Then one can actually read. Of course, then Bhagavatam goes for quite good amount of time to go through that. But it is all about making time. The more we are present in our the things, and we focus on our Krishna consciousness, that much we can actually advance in Krishna consciousness faster. So yeah, so people speak so many things, no, about different nonsense things. So if they can just utilize the same ability to speak about Krishna. Basically, what we take in, why I told about this reading also, because what we take in, that only comes out. If we hear something negative or something here and there news, then that only will come out when we speak. And if we read Krishna conscious books, then and properly contemplate on it, properly read it, then we are speaking to someone, though those things only will come out. If somebody is asking some solution to us, we immediately will refer to, oh, here also same situation happened. With Arjuna, same situation happened, or with Parishit Maharaj or Dhruv Maharaj, same situation happened. And we may try to, we will give answer through Prabhupada books because we have read it completely. So that is how the things will go. Our solutions also will become spiritual. Our speech will become spiritual. Whatever we speak, whatever we talk, everything will become spiritual. So the input should be like that. Then the output will come. If there is no input only, then there is no question of speaking or speaking to glorify the Lord. So the first thing starts with taking in. So we have to, instead of remaining silent, we can actually open the book and read it. So when we are traveling, all the people may be just talking some nonsense things here and there, reading something, or and those people are also sometimes they will watch the movies. They download the movie in the mobile before only. Very expert. They will download the mobile because sometimes in the flights also the internet doesn't work. So I have seen people they download the movie or some whatever because they have to somehow the 2 hours of journey they have to do some time pass. So they will prepare fully for that. They will bring some eatables. They will download the movies and different videos in their mobile. And during the entire journey, either they will sleep or they will eat different things or they will open the mobile and watch the movies. And that's how they properly plan the things. So in that way, we have to learn from them how to plan our spiritual activities. We can actually keep our some lectures in the mobile or some device, speaker or something. Some of the books we should keep with us always. Hard copy is best. If not, then at least in soft copy. And then keep a pen also to underline some important points and relate it. So like that, we also keep ours. In case we have to hear some lecture, we can also download and keep it. So we can also hear that and go ahead in that way. So instead of just speaking here and there, looking at here and there, we can actually read it. And when we have to speak with someone, then we can speak nicely. So it is said that talkativeness is not good. Too much talkativeness. Generally, if somebody is just talking, then after some time, the speech becomes very loose. Well, the speech becomes very loose. He will talk, even like two friends come together. Initially, they think that, okay, we will share Krishna consciousness, but eventually, how much they will talk also. They actually should come together and what is the solution? What should they do? Two friends, Krishna, even devotee friends, if they are coming together, they want to be with each other. Association of devotees, we say. So what they have to do in association? Should they just come and keep speaking? Oh, what is going on? How is your health? How is going on your job and this and then again that speech will become eventually it becomes loose. Okay, here, there, and amongst devotees also there can be prajalpa, like just talking here, this thing and that thing and other things. So it's not only applicable for outside people, but even in devotee circle. So I told about this Vacho Vegam. Actually, all these things has to be followed by devotees. Outside, so anyway, they are not doing it. So what these devotees should do when they come together? Yes.
They can read books or discuss what they read previous day.
Yeah, best is to read books. Come together and you have one book, I have one book, and you start reading that book together. So reading you see, and then you share your realization through that. And reading, it can like you read some particular one page or something you are reading, and then suddenly we say that okay, I have actually these are very wonderful thoughts. I can this thing happened with my life, and you can actually contemplate on that. When we are discussing and reading, no, that is even more. That verse comes no in Bhagavad Gita. Parasparanu Kathanam. So Parasparanu Kathanam, and one more verse is there. So that actually these verses tell about how uh, coming together and reading scriptures, that is actually very relishable activity. So in case you don't have anything to do, we should come together and just read it for And sometimes the reading can actually, if we are really into it, no, readings can go for hours together also. And you don't even see the time. What is the time has happened? So it just reading goes like that. So we can come together. Okay, you can ask about health or you can ask about other things also. But best thing is here with them in case you can hear some lecture or we can read some book. So in that way, the relationship will become more spiritual. And after that, we can, of course, and then after that also, then you also respect also increases with each other. If you just talk karmi things, no, then you see that familiarity increases. And people say friendship, but then it only remains on material platform. Sometimes they will insult also, they will disrespect also. But because you read together, you get to know, oh, this I was thinking is just my friend, but he's having so much vast knowledge. And that friend also thinks the same thing. Oh, he's having such wonderful purport. Like Prabhupada has one purport, but his understanding he told from that, it is such a advanced. So I want to take his association regularly and read with him. So like that, our our appreciation or respect for each other also increases. So that's how it's the wonderful thing that we can read and we can speak the same things to the other person. Okay, so it is our time also. I have to end on time because, of course, we have not taken the two things we were supposed to cover, Vacho Vegam and Manasa Vegam, but we have covered only one because this is one of the important part also, Vacho Vegam. Basically, we don't have to, Vacho Vegam means we don't have to just control the speech, but we have to utilize it in preaching Krishna consciousness, speaking about Krishna, glorifying Him. So that's how this will be, our speech will be perfected. Okay, any questions? Anyone has?
No, bro. Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, everything is clear, no? Or just
Clear, Prabhuji. We should utilize it, not speak always Prajalpa. Even most important points we discussed, which I feel is in devotees' life also. Like many of the times, this thing comes. We gradually start with devotional things and gradually progress to material things on discussion.
yeah, and that happens because the output, the input is not proper. Like what we have heard, we have not sufficiently heard, or sometimes days together we have not read any book. So then, when speaking to even devotees, we may take out some material topic because we have heard about that. We heard maybe we went to company and somebody was speaking about it. It went to our ears and we heard it. Then after coming to the devotee, we speak the same thing because so that's why it is very important that we should first fill ourselves with all the things. And the Mahatma Prabhu gives that example of lemon, no? Lemon or orange he gives. He said, if you squeeze orange, what will come out? What will come out?
Orange juice.
Orange juice will come out. Yeah. If you squeeze orange juice comes out. So he said, basically, whatever is there inside, that only comes out. So if you squeeze a person, like a person is very angry by nature, anger is like filled up in his, and as soon as you speak something, he becomes angry at you. Because what is there inside, that only comes out. Or a person is very humble, humility personified. As soon as you speak to him, the same thing will come. He will be respectful, he will be very humble. So whatever is there inside, that only comes out. So similarly about speech also. So what information you have inside, that only comes out in the form of that particular speech or talking like that. Here Agampur is telling. Yes, Satyam bro.
Prabhu recently had asked you questions that when we keep on glorifying Krishna or telling someone or preaching something, our ego boosts it sometimes. So Prabhu, you said that we don't have to stop there. We have to preach. Rest everything will clear slowly, slowly. But Prabhu, if we speak, will not our conscious will transfer to other person? Like we have some egoistic mindset and we keep on glorifying Krishna. We are going to give something to other. Will not he get that mindset of ego or what we have?
Yeah, actually the knowledge
That will
when
conscious.
we read more and more, no, we'll see the bhakti means the more we get to know about Krishna, that much we actually become humble. That is actually the effect of the knowledge or the result of knowledge. It should, the real knowledge will not actually make us egoistic or proud or like that. It will make us more humble, because when we are what we are speaking also, we are hearing first, we are reading first. So after reading, we understand, oh, Krishna is so great. Then when the more we understand greatness of Krishna, then we understand, oh, I am so insignificant. We start recognizing our insignificance, and then we feel very humble. So that's why it is said that as we advance in bhakti, the person starts feeling more and more that I am the lowest, I am lower, lower, lower. Initially, when one comes to Krishna consciousness, one feels, oh, I have taken to this path, I am very glorious, something. But as he gets more and more knowledge, he starts becoming a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. He starts becoming more humbler and humbler, because he understands the greatness of the Lord. That is very important. So knowledge, actually, real knowledge will not make us proud. So sometimes we may speak to some audience or big people, and it may boost our ego, but immediately we should pass that credit. Somebody may glorify, oh, very nice speech you are speaking. Immediately we should transfer it to our superiors. We say, oh, I am just speaking what Prabhupada has given, that only I am speaking to you. Nothing new or something. They will say, no, the way you told, very nice. Even the ability to speak is also given by Krishna. So who am I to take the credit? Similarly, you should pass the credit to others. Like Maharaj said once that many now the Maharaj last year one Vas Puja happened, last 10 years. There is no Vas Puja, so Maharaj is not allowing anyone to glorify also. Can you imagine? The Guru's Vas Puja is then disciples, they are not able to glorify also. Till 2012, I attended the last Vas Puja, that was in 2012. And of course, last year also it happened. It was a festival of gratitude. It was not actually like a Vas Puja, like worshipping and all that thing didn't happen. It was just devotees express their gratitude. That's all. There was no like, generally Guru Vas Puja means the Guru will be worshipped with all the items and everything. So 2012 was the last one. Maharaj says, why to glorify me? You glorify Prabhupada and you glorify the Supreme Lord. So basically, and Maharaj said once that one of the time when the Vas Puja happened, everybody gave their offerings. And then Maharaj said that if I take all this glorification seriously or to me, I will die immediately, he said. If I take all these glories for me, then I will die. So that's what Maharaj did at the end, and he left. That means he did not accept any glorification. Everything he just passed to his superiors and the Lord. That's it. Because he understood that these are not my glories, it is all because of the Guru Parampara, what is happening, and people are getting inspired. So that's how we have to maintain that anybody glorifies also, we should actually pass those glories to other devotees or superiors, or we can, and that's why the reading is very important. Like you read and then you speak, so immediately you will realize that because I read, that's why I could speak. So that means because I read Prabhupada book, so glories go to whom? Glories goes to Prabhupada, not to me, because I read Prabhupada book. If I don't read and I just speak, then we will be proud. We'll say, oh, I have spoken it or something. And of course, we will not speak so effectively if we don't read. And even if we speak, we will just be proud. That's why we have to have very strict sadhana, and then we can actually glorify. Then we can speak. Then that knowledge will not make us proud, but it will make us humble. So that is the thing. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so we end our discussion here. Next Saturday, or this is okay, time 3 p.m.
Probably sessions will not be there on Sunday, like 5 p.m. we have on Sunday 5 p.m. as we regular have.
Okay, 5 p.m. is better, huh?
Yes, because most number of people would attend. Like almost
And
15
then
to 20
the
devotees attend.
voting, everyone voted for 3 p.m. was maximum number. So that's why.
So we read that there was some kind of service for you, so you decided to take session today. I think there was something like that, Masood.
Okay. So all devotees are okay with Saturday 5 p.m. only for next 2-3 weeks. After that, we will keep on Sunday 5 p.m. Next few weeks. 5 p.m. is okay for everyone?
Prabhuji, I have to go for classes at 4:30.
No. 4:30 classes are there. That's the thing. Okay, we'll see now at least. But Sunday it is not there. Huh? Sunday it is not there. Sunday 5 p.m.
No, Prabhu.
Okay, Sunday is good for everyone, I think. Satyam Prabhu, for you also it is good?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, then I will try to take on Sunday only. We'll try to have next week, Sunday. I'll try to either leave before or Monday morning I can leave for other place. Okay. Here Agam Pro is one last question is there. Reading books is the toughest thing. If I save myself from sleeping while reading, whatever I read is gone from the mind or memory next day. You emphasized on reading. Can you tell how should we read? What is the proper method? So best method is make notes while reading also. Even you said actually we can underline also. Once Maharaj said that, somebody said that, oh, how can you mark on the with pen on the books, So it is not good. But Maharaj said actually by marking you are actually putting an ornament to the books. It is like putting an ornament to all the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So that is good, he said. So we should put like one devotee when he was reading book. I saw his book. All the lines were marked, important lines, and there were sticky papers also he sticked various places, pink color and green color, and he has written some his points also. Okay, because we just don't read it, but we contemplate also on every instruction. So he read some points, then he noted down in the sticky paper. He sticked it there, and then that's how the entire book is like this. But after he read and put sticky paper, it became this big because so many it got added so many things. So like that, the proper method is we should actually read and that time we should not keep anything distractive things with us. Mobile, everything just keep outside. Even if some very urgent things are there, you say that okay, half an hour I'm going to read continuously, no disturbance. Nobody should disturb me. And then you focus fully, contemplate on the points, what is mentioned. Think about it, not just read and go ahead, but we can contemplate how it is. So three things are very important. One, some information will be knowledge based when we read. Some information will be applicable to us, like personal application. This we have to apply in our life. So that also you can note down. Okay, this thing I am lacking in my life. I have to apply this instruction. This is the instruction directly coming from Srila Prabhupada. So I should apply. And the third thing is preaching application. Like sometimes you meet someone, you can same thing what you read, you can actually explain in the way he can take up. Yeah, Prabhupada sometimes gives very wonderful analogy. Then you can take up this analogy with the lesson and you tell to the person. So that's how one is informative, that is knowledge based. One is personal application, and third one is preaching application. So all these 3 points we can note it down, and then we can share also. And whatever is you read, you actually like so many of you are there in the group. Also, many devotees are there. You can call one devotee and you can actually share with them also. You can ask what you read. He will share certain things. You can also share what you read with. When you share, then that knowledge becomes very. Then you will not forget it so easily. If you read something and then share with someone, then it becomes like very fixed up in the memory. So then it is not so difficult to actually forget. It becomes very easy like that. So try this. Hopefully this will help. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.